First off, how you doing today, Rhys?
Hey Billy. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Much better now that I'm here talking to you, of course.
Ah, you are so sweet.
Haha. And
it's
why,
it's
thank you.
it's weird speaking to you because obviously I used to see you all the time at uni doing various recording projects with the Doinks and obviously your solo stuff, but I haven't seen you in person for what feels like a year or something.
Yeah, I genuinely think the last time we saw each other was like March last year,
That's
which is
absolutely
insane.
crazy, isn't it?
Which is crazy. Yeah, it is insane. It sucks, but there's not much we can really do about it at the moment. But
No.
I think at least we can keep busy with our own projects and stuff like that, and we haven't lost our jobs or anything like that yet, so we're
No.
doing okay, I think.
Yeah, we're definitely not getting the worst for wear, I would reckon. Um, but speaking of doing our own projects, so of course we're chatting right now because you're going to be releasing The Sound of the Music on Friday. And so for those who haven't heard the original yet, because I'm going to play the song after this interview, I reckon. What's the song like? What's it about?
So the song is about. I guess the title is very much sort of what it was about. Um, the song for me is about sort of music in general. It's about, in particular, sort of experiencing live music from my own point of view, both um, as a lover of going to see live music and also being someone who plays a lot of live music. So for me, music, especially in a live scenario, has been a massive part of my life for a very long time, especially since the last couple of years. And it is kind of written a little bit about the way it makes me and many people feel when they both play on stage and when they're experiencing music. It's an extremely sort of collective atmosphere I find gigs at, and it tries to reflect that a lot in the lyrics. The instrumentation, I guess, was written. It was written a fair while ago now, but I mean, it was some of my most proudest bits of guitar work I've ever written. Especially when when I sort of first wrote it, and even today, I still look back at it and go, "Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good." You know. So yeah, it's a big, described a lot as just sort of a massive riff fest, really.
Brilliant. So a riff fest celebrating live music, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what it was about. I mean, in a way, the song was written kind of almost as a live song. Like when I was kind of writing the instrumentation, I was kind of thinking in the back of my head, this would be a great song to play live. This would be an amazing song to do that. And I think the lyrics kind of fed off that. They kind of sort of played a little bit into that idea of of live music more literally, as well as sort of, oh, this would work well with a crowd in front of me, that kind of thing.
Yeah, brilliant. So while we're talking about live music, obviously none of us have been to any gigs for a very, very long time. If
Yeah.
you could choose one band to see like the day this pandemic disappears, who would you go and see?
Oh, blimey. There's a lot of choice. I mean, on a big level, I mean, I would just sort of point out and say Alter Bridge as being my favorite band and just call it there, because
I knew you were gonna say Alter Bridge.
Yeah, but to try and avoid being boring, to say, thinking of more local bands, so let's say Falmouth bands, for example, who would I go see? A few come to mind. Have you ever seen Ronnie Cook and Friends live?
No, I haven't. Are they from around here?
They are. They Falmouth Uni students, graduated a while back. They would be really cool. I saw them at a Marta once, and Ronnie is a spectacular guitar player, and his band was just insanely tight. I'd love to see them live. The other one I'd love to see live would be, I don't know if you ever went to it, but Long Tonic's EP launch at the
Oh,
Palacio.
Yeah, no, I missed that one, unfortunately.
That was I'd love to see them play live, and that group of play live, because I think that genuinely felt like you were at a festival at that gig. It was insane. Like they're not the kind of bands that I would normally go see live, but I think the atmosphere that they had there, the venue, everything like that just felt really great. And it did not feel like it didn't feel like you were at a small local gig. It felt like you were at, a smaller stage at a fairly big festival. So I definitely go there just for the atmosphere, really.
Yeah, that sounds wicked. I'm upset that I missed that gig now, but I'll definitely be looking out for them for when everything goes back to normal.
Absolutely.
So going back to the sound of the music, I know a lot of fans, including me, when you first announced that you're going to be re-releasing it, a lot of people have asked, why did you decide to record a new version of the song? So I guess I'll just ask you that one more time for the record.
I think for me, I just felt that the original recording never really did the song justice. I think, I released it originally. The song got a lot of good praise and everything like that, but I feel like compared to a lot of my other songs, I think for me, it was recorded very quickly. It was, the performances on it were all very quick, and I think that both the song has come along a long way since it was originally released, and I think my own abilities as both a sort of like self-producer and also vocalist, guitarist, arranger has come along a lot different way. And a lot of my original songs, like the sound of the music, I kind of thought, well, I kind of want to have another crack at them, just because I feel like there's a lot more that could come out of those songs. So I kind of wanted to do those songs a little bit of justice, because I remember the first couple times I played live, and people kind of had that response of like, the song sounds so different live to how they do recorded. It's kind of sort of trying to capture that live sound, which I think hopefully will go down well in a lockdown world.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've heard this new version of the sound of the music, and I think, yeah, it does a better job of capturing the kind of live feel of the track. So along kind of similar lines, what are your plans for the next few months? Have you got any other tracks that you're planning to re-release, or new songs to come out, anything like that?
Well, yes. I mean, this song, not only will this song, The Sound of the Music, be coming out, but it is also the title track of a potential upcoming EP. So The Sound of the Music, the sort of cover art, that the concept of the EP has been, I've had it for a very long time now, but because of all the issues, it's been difficult to actually release. It's mostly going to be songs that people have heard before, again, for that sort of like attempt to try and get a sort of better, more energetic sounding recordings of songs that I really like and I know people have heard before. But so I think there will be, my hope is to get it out in May, which will have 6 tracks, one that's never been recorded before, one that is, I guess no one's really heard it before. Like, people have heard an acoustic version of the song, but they've never heard a full-blown band version in the recorded form. And then, of course, we've got 3 or 4 other tracks that are, that have been released before, that will just sort of be polished up and re-recorded. So that's to look forward to. In terms of new music, I would say I'm about halfway through a second EP, which again, I think right at the beginning of the year, I said to people I want to release 2 EPs this year. So that should come out at the end of the year, and that will have a lot of tracks that people haven't heard before. So if you are looking for some new music, then don't worry, there will be new music this year, definitely.
Brilliant. Loads of stuff to look forward to then. So finally, to finish it on a slightly more random question, what sorts of things have you been getting into this lockdown to keep yourself occupied and keep yourself from getting bored?
Well, I mean, a few things. So, I mean, first of all, as many people know, I began a podcast during lockdown. So Creative Chats is available on YouTube now. Woohoo! We're on episode A. I think I said again at the beginning of the year that I wanted to make it a bi-weekly thing. But due to the fact I've been stuck at my parents' house without my PC and hard drives and stuff like that, with all the templates, it's been quite difficult. But hopefully I should get access to that fairly soon. So I should be able to get back to doing more podcasts. I've got in, I think, during lockdown, I went on a little bit of a spending spree and bought myself a PlayStation and a gaming PC.
Oh, wow. Both those worlds.
Both those worlds, yeah. I mean, originally I was just going to get the PC, but I think I was looking at the time and I found a PS4 that was going for a really good deal. And I was kind of like, I've always wanted a PS4, so I was like, I'll just get it anyway. And that's been a lot of fun. That has certainly chewed up a lot of time that I should have probably been sleeping. That's been fun. It's one of those hobbies that I think I've always been into. I was massively into it when I was younger. Sort of teenage years kind of fell out of it, really. Not because I didn't like it, just simply because I didn't really have the latest consoles. My priorities at the time were to invest my money elsewhere. Now that I've gotten back into it, I'm very, very hooked.
Yeah, you know, I'm exactly the same, actually. I used to have a PS2 and a PS3, and then kind of when the PS4 and the Xbox One came out, that's kind of when I was stopped gaming. And then as soon as kind of like the PS5 and the Xbox S came out, that's when me and Rihanna got an Xbox One and our housemate got PS4. And we've just been like chewing through loads of games. Like I've been going through games so quickly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, what are some of your favorites you've played so far?
Oh gosh. Well, I went through and played all the Assassin's Creed games, and
all of them.
All of them from Brotherhood. I'd already played the first and the second one, but then since getting the Xbox One, I played all of them from Brotherhood. And wow. I've got to say, Odyssey is my favorite. It's like an underrated one. I think people seem to not like that one as much, but Odyssey just got really got to me. And then what I'm playing right now, The Outer Worlds, is like a sci-fi RPG that I've not heard anybody talk about, but it's so good. I'm having so much fun. It's really funny, and the gameplay is really fun. So those have been my favorites, I reckon. What about you?
That's really interesting. Funnily enough, you mentioned Odyssey, because in terms of Assassin's Creed games, that was the first one that I actually downloaded on my PC, and the first one I actually finished the whole thing. I think I sunk 60 hours into that game.
Wow, yeah, me too.
I mean, it's a ginormous game, but yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I liked it a lot. Yeah, I think it's a mix, because you know the people I've heard recommend it, they loved it, and there are other people I know that didn't quite like it. But yeah, the other one as well that I got was Horizon Zero Dawn. That is just, yeah, I was really intrigued by that game, by the concept, and I got it, and I was absolutely blown away by it. I just adore that game so much. I cannot wait. The sequel's coming out at the end of the year. Cannot wait for that. Most recently, I discovered Titanfall 2 as well. That's another game that I've just been really hooked on. It's a brilliant game.
Nice. Well, it's been awesome chatting to you, Rhys. I wish you lots of luck for all the future things that you've got coming up.
Awesome. Thank you for having me on. And I hope that everyone listening has enjoyed my rambling, and hope you enjoy the new old single.
Yeah, so I'm going to play The Sound of the Music by Rhys Hurd, the new version, right now for you. So here it is, and do enjoy. Thanks, Rhys.
Thanks, Billy.